Have you ever wondered why the same patterns keep showing up in your life? No matter how much inner work you do, relationships that echo familiar emotions, triggers that follow the same rhythm, and desires that lead you right back to where you started? What if the answer lies in the zodiac sign you think defines you? In this video, we'll uncover the hidden truth about the Zodiac Loop, a soul-level cycle that might be keeping you stuck in a cosmic script. Are you ready to discover how to break free and reclaim your soul's true purpose? Most people see astrology as a tool to discover who they are. But what if it's also the script keeping you in a loop? You weren't born under your zodiac sign by accident. Your soul chose that frequency, that archetype, and its karma. Yet, here's the twist. Zodiac signs aren't just descriptions. They're initiations. Each sign carries a lesson, a shadow, and a doorway to growth. But instead of walking through that door, many souls camp in front of it, repeating the same traits and reactions lifetime after lifetime, mistaking the invitation for the destination. This is the Zodiac Loop, a cycle of identity fixation where your chart becomes less of a map and more of a maze. Feels familiar, safe, even empowering at first, but over time you feel trapped, like your sign is a story someone else wrote for you. Today, we'll decode where this loop starts, how it hides in your chart, and most importantly, how to break it, not by rejecting astrology, but by liberating it. When you understand your sign's deeper purpose, it becomes a key, not a cage. The Zodiac Loop isn't just a theory. It's a pattern woven into the reincarnational fabric of your soul. It's the cycle where your soul returns under the same zodiac influence, replaying the same energetic script across lifetimes. On the surface, your astrology chart feels like a blueprint of who you are, but for many, it becomes a karmic echo chamber, repeating the same challenges, ego traps, and unresolved emotional patterns from past incarnations. This loop isn't just about your sun sign. It's about the entire energetic signature of your natal chart. The dominant signs, unbalanced elements, and repeating planetary themes. For example, heavy Aries energy might manifest as impulsive actions, unchecked anger, or isolating independence. A Virgo loop could show up as chronic self-criticism, over-perfectionism, or never feeling ready to start. The loop hides its identity, making you say, "I'm just a Scorpio, that's why I act this way," or "I'm a Capricorn, so I always feel this pressure." But what if that's not you? What if it's an unconscious contract your soul hasn't outgrown? The Zodiac Loop is like a cosmic algorithm, revealing what you haven't healed. Instead of transcending these patterns, we often over-identify with them, living in the sign instead of moving through it. Spiritual systems teach that evolution requires movement through stages, initiations, and rites of passage. But the Zodiac Loop traps you in the early stages of your archetype's development, preventing you from reaching the alchemy or completing the story. This loop is reinforced not just by karma, but by culture. Pop astrology encourages pride in our signs, but rarely teaches us to graduate from them. It's like reading only the title of a sacred text and missing the next chapter. The loop forms through layers of personal, ancestral, and cosmic imprinting, starting when your soul chooses its entry point into this incarnation. Not just the family or timeline, but the exact astrological frequency to confront unresolved karma. Your natal chart becomes the blueprint for your inner battlefield. Your environment reflects your sign back to you, hardening it into identity. For instance, a Cancer's emotional sensitivity might be reinforced by caregivers, conditioning them to perform it rather than understand it. A Leo praised only when shining may tie their worth to visibility. Cultural narratives like horoscopes and memes further seal the loop, turning affirmations like, "I'm a Taurus, so I hate change," into energetic contracts. Unprocessed trauma, especially when it resonates with your sign's shadow, is another invisible force. A Pisces experiencing abandonment might spiral into escapism or martyrdom, while a Scorpio feeling betrayal could anchor into secrecy or revenge. Instead of integrating the lesson, you build walls, reinforcing the loop. This cycle may span multiple lifetimes, with your soul incarnating under similar zodiac configurations, facing the same unresolved emotional frequencies. For example, a Libra soul might repeatedly struggle with self-other balance, never learning to choose themselves. Astrologically, these loops are embedded in your South Node, past life tendencies, Saturn, karmic lessons, and 12th house, Unconscious patterns. The loop is also sustained by your choices. Every time you lean into your sign's low vibration, use it as an excuse, or fear evolving beyond it, you feed the cycle. The cosmos, like a patient teacher, hands you the same lesson until you awaken. But you can't escape the loop by denying your chart. You break it by transcending its limitations. This starts with radical responsibility, seeing how the loop was formed, not to blame yourself but to reclaim your power. How do you know you're in a loop? Look for clues like repetition without resolution, attracting the same partners, hitting the same emotional dead ends in friendships or careers. Over-identification with your sign, saying, "I'm just like that because I'm a Sagittarius," or "I'm anxious because I'm a Virgo," is another red flag. Your sign becomes a shield against change, and growth feels threatening because it challenges the identity you've clung to. Predictable emotional reactions, like an Aquarius detaching from pain or a Cancer retreating into victimhood, signal the loop's shadow dominating your responses. A false sense of empowerment, knowing your chart but not transforming, is another trap. Knowledge without integration just decorates the cage. You might also notice a rejection of your opposite sign, the one that holds your medicine. A Leo stuck in ego resists Aquarius detachment. A Taurus resisting change dismisses Scorpio's chaos. Finally, there's existential fatigue, a feeling you've been here before, that despite surface changes, something deeper isn't shifting. These clues aren't here to shame you. They're here to wake you. The loop means you're ready to face your sign's deeper purpose. Why did your soul choose the loop? It's not a punishment, it's a sacred design. The loop creates the pressure, pain, and pattern recognition needed to awaken you. Your zodiac sign is a symbolic contract for a specific lesson, but it includes the risk of getting stuck. A Leo soul chooses authentic self-expression but risks ego inflation. A Pisces seeks universal love but may fall into fantasy or victimhood. The loop repeats until it provokes enough discomfort to spark awareness, showing you that your traits are invitations to evolve, not just who you are. It's a spiritual cocoon, protective at first, but eventually a limitation that must be broken from within. The loop's mechanics involve Saturn, testing maturity, the South Node, past life comfort zones, and the 12th house, hidden patterns. To break the loop, you must alchemize it by confronting your sign's shadow and integrating its lessons. This means facing the low vibrations of your archetype, like a Sagittarius avoidance of depth or a Libra's tendency to abandon themselves for peace, without judgment. Instead of blaming your sign, use it as a tool to decode unconscious responses, recognizing where you've been stuck in repetitive behaviors or emotional patterns. Your opposite sign offers balance, acting as a mirror to reveal what your loop resists. For an Aries trapped in impulsiveness, Libra's harmony provides grounding. For a Virgo lost in perfectionism, Pisces' surrender brings release. Engaging with this energy, through emotional, spiritual, or physical practices, stretches you beyond the loop's pull. Similarly, studying your lunar nodes can illuminate your soul's path. The South Node represents comfort zones you've overused, while the North Node points to the unfamiliar growth your soul craves. These elements guide you toward the evolutionary leap needed to break free. The loop thrives on attachment to identity, so breaking it requires a symbolic death of the self that clings to labels like Scorpio, Gemini, or Aquarius. This psychic rebirth, common in initiatory traditions, involves letting go of who you thought you were and embracing what emerges. Astrology itself must also be redefined, not as a fixed identity, but as a mythic mirror reflecting the archetypes you navigate. By seeing your sign as a role you chose for growth, not a box to live in, you dissolve the loop's hold and step into a fluid, liberated relationship with the cosmos. To deepen your journey, start by observing your daily habits through the lens of your zodiac sign. Notice when you lean into its shadow, like a Gemini overthinking or a Taurus resisting change, and journal these moments to uncover the loop's grip. This awareness disrupts the cycle, allowing you to choose differently. Engaging with your North Node's energy through meditation or small actions, like a Capricorn North Node embracing discipline, aligns you with your soul's growth, loosening the South Node's pull. Another key is to explore the planetary transits affecting your chart. For instance, a Saturn return or a Pluto transit can amplify the loop's lessons, pushing you to confront unresolved patterns. Study these transits to understand the cosmic invitations they offer, rather than seeing them as fate. This shifts your perspective from being a passive recipient of astrology to an active participant in your soul's evolution. A Gemini facing a Saturn transit might work on grounding their scattered thoughts, while a Cancer could use a Pluto transit to release emotional clinging. The loop also feeds on external influences, like societal expectations or astrological stereotypes. Reflect on how your environment, family, friends, or media reinforces your sign's traits. A Scorpio might notice how others expect intensity, locking them into that role. Consciously challenge these expectations by expressing the higher vibrations of your sign, like Scorpio's transformative wisdom rather than its secrecy. This rewrites the energetic contract you've been living, opening new pathways for growth. Your ancestral lineage can also anchor the loop. Patterns inherited from family, like a Capricorn's drive for achievement or a Pisces' tendency toward sacrifice, may echo your sign's karma. Explore your family history to identify these threads, perhaps through journaling or conversations with elders. Recognizing these connections helps you separate your soul's path from inherited patterns, allowing you to choose which traits to carry forward and which to release. Engaging with mythology tied to your sign can further unlock the loop's lessons. Each zodiac sign is rooted in ancient archetypes: Leo with the hero's journey, Virgo with the healer's discernment, or Aquarius with the visionary's rebellion. Study these myths to see your sign as a story, not a definition. For example, a Leo might explore the myth of Apollo to balance ego with creative radiance, while an Aquarius could draw on Prometheus to embrace innovation without detachment. This mythic lens transforms your sign into a narrative you can evolve through. Community plays a vital role in breaking the loop. Surround yourself with those who see astrology as a tool for growth, not a label. Join forums or groups focused on evolutionary astrology, where shared insights can mirror your own journey. For instance, a Taurus sharing their struggle with change might find inspiration from a Scorpio's transformative courage. This collective energy amplifies your awareness, making the spiral path feel less solitary and more like a shared pilgrimage. Finally, create a personal ritual to mark your commitment to the spiral path. This could involve writing a letter to your old zodiac identity, thanking it for its lessons, and burning it under the stars to symbolize release. Alternatively, meditate on your chart's elements: fire, earth, air, water, to integrate their energies holistically. These acts anchor your intention to move beyond the loop, aligning your soul with the cosmos as a co-creator, not a captive. Once the loop is broken, you step onto the spiral path, a mode of soul evolution where astrology becomes a language, not an identity. Unlike a circle that loops back, the spiral moves outward and upward. You may revisit archetypes like Aries or Scorpio, but from a higher awareness, where they teach rather than define you. This leads to the 13th gate, the space beyond the zodiac wheel, sometimes called Ophiuchus or the void between signs. It's not a new label but a transcendence, where your soul reclaims sovereignty beyond archetypes and karma. On this spiral path, you carry the entire zodiac within you, seeing the Leo in your heart, the Virgo in your discernment, the Pisces in your dreams. Every sign becomes a facet of your totality, not a cage but a constellation. You become a living zodiac, fluid and mythic. Life transforms into a series of sacred initiations, where planetary transits are invitations, not fate, and your chart is a poem, not a sentence. You no longer ask, "What's my sign?" but, "What am I here to remember?" The zodiac loop was never your enemy. It was your teacher. Every repetition, every moment of stuckness, was part of a sacred design to initiate you. Your sign isn't a destination but a doorway. The frustrations, patterns, and traits you couldn't shake were clues pointing to your soul's deeper work. You're not just a Leo, Capricorn, or Pisces. You're a soul that chose that frequency to evolve through. Now you're awake. You're not bound to repeat the wheel unless you choose to stay unconscious. Step into the spiral path, through the 13th gate, and reclaim astrology as a map of remembrance, not a cage. Ask yourself, where have I been looping, and what truth am I ready to spiral into? You were never trapped. You were being prepared to awaken, to remember, to rewrite your contract as a co-creator with the stars. The loop is yours to break. Subscribe to Wisdom of the Ancients for more timeless truths, and share your thoughts below. How will you start breaking your zodiac loop today?